People wanna talk that talk, in reality you have not seen me in action. You think the come up comes overnight, you ain't behind the scenes. Trust me, these things don't just happen. No shade to Gerald, but G's don't come easy when you tryna eat, I produce.
So I'm kind of go into this video since I got the car straight off the track. I'm gonna go into like a review of the car, of what I think, stuff I broke. Starting off with stuff I broke, just what and stuff I bought. But at the very end, final review of the car. But that's what I ran at the big race. Hope you enjoyed it. But stick around. Here we go into the review. Things I broke. This hinge pin right there, it's got a nut up here and a nut under. No, it's got an Allen down here. Allen hex nut, whatever, hex wrench. That hinge pin I broke. I broke a front arm and a rear arm. Two of these front wing mounts. And a spur gear, where we all break a spur gear. And that is all, I've broken on this car since I've had it since it came out last year. All right, moving in. Things you need to make this car really competitive. From my point of view, and for what I bought, first thing is you need thin pistons if you're running clay. Thin pistons front and rear. Another thing is the aluminum trail insert that goes, is what the axle goes through. I prefer the 3mm aluminum trail. That's like $18. Another thing, extra pills, rear pills. You need rear extra pills. That's just extra. So thin pistons, extra pills, and aluminum trail. Another tip is always mount your electronics on electronic tray. That comes with the kit right there. That electronic tray came with the kit. That's just a quick change out. If anything happens, you need to swap out speed control, quick change out, or if your speed control goes to Fritz or your receiver or something goes to Fritz, you can swap out for Buddy by just undoing that tray and uninstalling the wires, and voila, easy switch out. My only gripe with this car is it doesn't have a quick, 4-screw diff access. You got to move like, I don't know, 15, 17 screws just to get to the diff out. So it's important to rebuild your diff before a big race and break it in right before practice. Yeah, and make sure your diff is built right, because it's a lot of screws to undo to get to a diff. That's what I recommend you're getting. This is like $5 at Walmart. Or not $5, $10, I think. It might be $5 now. This little hand driver with the MIP 2mm hex tool. If you're working on this kit, you have this kit, or you're thinking about getting this kit, I recommend getting a driver. Jumping and landing and cornering and everything, this car does it all. You can see, Dakota fin. Like I said, this car here, like, I can push it as hard as I want to, or I can back it off, or the car is that good. I really didn't know how good it was, and I had TLR driver Joe Ellis and Joe Ellis raced in the 90s, and he's like, Jason, you need to get this car. I had the B6 before, and he's like, you need to get this car. So what I had done was I bought the car from Beach Hobbies, and on my way down to the race, well, I bought it online, and I had Joe pick it up at the track, and He had it, you know, I'll say 80% built, 90% built for me by the time I got to the track. So that was like him urging, like, you need to get this car. Your B6 is kind of dated, so you need to upgrade. And like, he was right on the money. Final conclusion of this, as all I know y'all thinking about time. Y'all, this is the best car I've driven since the Team Losi Pro SE. This is the best car. Like, feels good, handles good, jumps good, corners good. This is the best car I've driven out of all the cars I've driven, you know, in the 90s till now. This is the best feeling car. Like, Losi really knocked it out of the park with this car. Like, I love this car. Like I said, the diff, the quick access diff, that's a headache in itself. But once you get everything together, and it doesn't take much for this car to be competitive. Like, it's already competitive out of the box, like it's the Elite. But I wish they would have put the aluminum trail in there in the kit. Because the kit, I think, was like 300 and something. I gotta look at my receipt from Beach RC, but I think it was like 300 and something. So they could have put the aluminum trail in there, but you know, once you get the thin pistons, the aluminum trail, and I went with Yokomo springs on the back, Yokomo green, and AE Team Associated gray springs on the front. The car was like it's. I was just super impressed, and the car where I really fell in love with this car was SS Hobbies down in Tampa, Florida. Like, the Setzers track, that's where this car, like, I just like, ugh. I got on the track and I was just like, y'all boys are in trouble. Like, practice, I was just like, this is it. And the car, like I said, does everything, like everything perfect. So where the double X got me left at the track many times, because that car pushed tremendously. Like, it just, car was the worst. It was the worst. The double X was the worst. I don't care who's out there who says it, who's, you know, got opinion. That double X car sucked. But this car here, oh my, yeah, it's that good. So anybody out there that's like, you know, wanting to get a kit, or they're undecided on the kit, I tell them get this car. You know, bang for the buck. You know how all the hop-up parts is in the box, and they tribute this kit to Brian Kinwall, the Dirtnator. They tribute the kit to him, and it's in his fashion, because he would have all these hop-up parts and trick parts, and his car would be more trick than this, though. But yeah, so that's my review. Like, this is the best car I've driven since the 90s, and that is that span of it. Here's my setup sheet. Finally done. I know y'all like, why you put that in the beginning? Kind of zoom in on some stuff here, especially the axle holes there, where I'm running the 68 millimeter dog bone CVAs. I put it in the number 2 there. Kind of Just give you a glimpse into what I'm running. Alright, that concludes my long video. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I got some affiliate links down below. Helps me out a lot. Got Patreon, helps me out a lot. Yeah, that's what I run. Just trying to, you know, really give y'all insight of like my final setup to get y'all, I guess, in the ballpark, or just to give you an idea of, you know, what I think, or just to get you up and going quicker. You know, hopefully you found value in what I gave you. But yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in. It means a lot. See you soon.
Somewhere unseen.